All right. Does it say element backward? When I see my screen, that little thing
No,
behind me
it's
says
back.
element. It says element the right way? Okay.
That's
It's just backward for me. Thanks for hanging on there, guys. We had a little bit of yeah, we had some issues there, technical issues, and we've got our biggest element community update call ever, and we couldn't get in. So look at that. Look at these numbers going up. This is fantastic. Thank you guys all for coming here. We appreciate you all being part of the element community. I'm guessing most of you guys are node owners. Many of you guys have heard about Element through friends and family. And as you know, we're doing some big things. And so here's what we decided to do today. Today, since I know a lot of you guys are new, some of you guys are OGs, you've been around, I'm looking at some of your faces and see some of your names, and some of you guys have been with us for like 4 years now. And so we're going to go just through a brief recap of what we've been doing, what Element is up to, and then I'm guessing a lot of you guys are on here today because Paul incentivized you all to be here. So we're really grateful that all of you guys are be here. He keeps giving away all of my Element, but that's okay because you guys deserve it. Grateful that all of you guys are on here. So again, so my name is Scott Lomu, founder, CEO, well, of Element United. We've made some recent changes. We've basically decentralized the entire company, so there's no more ownership anymore. There's no like, I don't own X% of the company, nothing like that anymore. We are truly decentralized. We just hit 100 people on here. This is fantastic. So, thank you, Paul, for getting the word out and letting people know what's happening. So, grateful for all of you guys. And so, part of the team, you guys know, some of you guys know Ali, Amy, Paul. They're going to chime in here and talk a little bit. We've got some very fun and very exciting things happening. As a lot of you guys know, in fact, some of you were with me. We had a very cool event in Hawaii last week or 2 weeks ago now. And some exciting things were announced. A lot of things were talked about that really we haven't talked about over the past, 4 years, 4 or 5 years. We've talked about building the node network, building the products, everything that we've been working on. And there is a very real, palpable shift. And so for some of you guys who are on here, you know exactly what I'm talking about because many of you guys were there in Hawaii and you heard stories that you've never heard before. You heard direction, vision that maybe we've never talked about before. People shared very intimate details, not only about their experience in our ecosystem, but also with how much they've made. And I've never seen that. I've been around a lot of very wealthy people who've made a lot of money with some of our other projects, and nobody has ever shared with me until this event in Hawaii how much money they made, and they pulled it up. They showed records. I'm not going to talk about it here, obviously without anyone's permission, and because I can't verify it. But for those of you who were there in person, you saw people pull up their wallets and show you how much money they had made. And there's a real shift. There's a real focus happening, and I think it's for a lot of different reasons. Number one, there's been a shift, especially here in the United States, with legislation, with all green lights in the crypto world, and things are moving in a very, very positive direction. And so, because of that, not only with the politics, with legislation, but also in the crypto markets, the crypto markets are hard to predict. You saw some big drops. Everybody keeps, waiting. When's the alt season coming? And but overall, there have been some very positive moves in the crypto world in general. So between legislation here in the United States, where a lot of these companies are based, just with the market itself, but with Element United as a community. And I'm going to be using the word community because this is truly a community run company now. And so our community council, which we're going to talk about today, some of you guys have been invited to be on that community council. Um, the decisions and the direction of the company are going to be made by this community council. And obviously, I'll be a part of that. I'll probably be the president of the community council. But the direction and really, the company has gotten to where we're at in a really a centralized nature with a lot of, personal funding, with a lot of man hours, with a lot of sacrifice by a few core people. What is happening now is as we move into the future, the Element blockchain is community driven. It's community led, and that is the way it should be. We're very excited about that, and I'm going to go ahead and just jump into for those of you, because again, this is one of the bigger community updates that we've had in a while. I'm going to give you very briefly just a quick snapshot of what we've been doing, where we're at, and how this all applies to you guys. So let me just go ahead, if you guys don't mind. I'm going to share my screen here, and there's several slides, but I promise I won't take up too much of your time. It's Wednesday at noon here in the United States, and all of you guys have taken time off of work and wherever else you are all around the country. We're probably represented by 30 different countries on this call, just by some of the names I can see. So I'm going to go ahead and can you guys see my slideshow? Okay, you guys see the
Yeah,
element?
yeah, we see it.
Okay, as always, we start with the disclaimers. If anybody's ever told you you're going to be a millionaire the next day and that you're going to retire off crypto riches next week, make sure you report them to me. You guys know our team, all four of us here. We have a kind of a hub and spoke model. This is the core team, and then we've got dozens and dozens of people with development, tech, legal, accounting that all support this company. But we are moving to the Element Community Council. This community council has to be voted on. Some invitations have been extended. Some of you guys have asked to be a part of it. We haven't finalized it yet. We haven't really started it yet. We've had a few small meetings just with a few people, but we haven't fully launched this community council. So if you're on it, or if you've requested to be on it and you haven't either been accepted yet, or you haven't been on a call, don't worry. I think our official kickoff will be in a couple weeks from now. There's still a lot of things that we're putting together, because you can imagine going from this centralized company that's been, a few core people, to now saying, all right, here's the new direction that we need to go, and here's how those responsibilities are going to be delegated. It's not an easy thing, and so it takes some time. And so members of this council will have backgrounds in tokenomics, sales, marketing, mining, carbon credits, international relationships, and a whole lot more. And so you will see we're going to make the community council public, obviously, because it has to be voted on. But you're going to see that we have some rock stars on this council, that this isn't just Scott and his buddies. These are people who will bring something to the table and really help guide this blockchain into the future. And so to do that, you need people with varied backgrounds. And there are a lot of people who live out of the country, who have relationships with government officials in mining and in all the different areas. And then we're going to talk about those different areas really quick. We always start with the problem. And for those of you guys who've been a part of us, you know what the problem is. You know that I experienced these problems firsthand. The mining industry is just rife with these tragic problems, such as child labor, slave labor, environmental destruction, corruption, all of these things, so that we can have the things that make our life easier. These computers and these phones that we're using are all powered by what you're looking at on the screen. And so that's just one of the problems that we can address with this awesome new blockchain technology. We can prove provenance. We can verify on chain if someone is a good actor, if someone is taking the steps to solve some of these problems, because I was one of these problems. Obviously, you guys know my background. I spent 5 years mining in Ghana, and then several other years in Arizona and Guyana doing mining. And I saw all this, and unfortunately, I participated because I thought that's just how mining worked. Then you step away and you realize that what can you do about it? Well, then a few years later, this incredible technology comes along, and you realize, holy smokes, this technology is the key to helping solve these problems. Okay. But a lot of people, because mining is far away in another land or out in the middle of nowhere, it doesn't really affect you. So our job as a company, as now a community, is to help people understand the problem that exists so that they can all get involved. And we do that in a few different ways. That's, again, everything to the right of that road down the middle is a gold mine. And that little village, there's three little villages. The one in the middle is where I lived. So some of those holes are mine. So that's why I take this very personally, because I see the destruction. I've been a part of the destruction, and I know firsthand where all of your rings come from, where your phones come from, why you have the ability to drive an electric vehicle. And so, again, if you this little snapshot I use drives the point home of look what it takes just so that we can have the conveniences that we have. So introduce Element, and now the Element blockchain, and more importantly, the Element community, so that we can solve these problems. And our vision is transforming elements into sustainable crypto solutions. Now, We have obviously core values of transparency, utility, sustainability, but even deeper values of on a more personal human nature. And so the world has changed. This is a famous painting. I love this author. He does a lot of like gold mining and Western scenes. And we took the liberty of improving his painting. Instead of holding a big golden nugget, he's holding a digital reward because this digital reward opens opportunities for a lot of people to, number one, participate, to care, and to change fundamentally the way things have been done because technology is changing. If you guys, look at where the world is about to go with AI, the exact same things are happening with blockchain. Blockchain now has opened up things we never even thought of. Can you imagine these old miners back then understanding what blockchain was or what AI is? They had no idea that this gold rush that they were on was going to be eclipsed a millionfold by this digital age that we now live in. But we have to make sure it's done right. People get too caught up in let's go, it's digital age. I want everything AI electric. And they haven't reconciled the fact that somebody downstream is paying the price so that we can have technology. We are going to catch everybody up and make sure that they know. And we do that through products. We have 4 different product lines. Well, more than that, but we'll just talk very briefly about Straya, which is how we certify mines, how we make sure that these mines are on a blockchain certified registry so that everybody like Tesla and all these guys buying all these elements can know that they're buying from a trusted source. Okay, so that's Straya. Alchemy, that's our traceability where we can mint NFTs, proof of origin. Again, we sold out our first minting of our heirloom NFTs to where people can create now a digital version of all of the things that mean the most to them. You guys have all seen the commercials out there with people saying, take your photos and digitize them. And that's important. But man, if you don't have a digital twin of anything that means something to you, like a ring or a watch or even a car title or a house title, you must have a digital version of that. We are in the digital age now. We've gone, the industrial age is dying and we're moving into the digital age, and we have to be in the forefront of that. Okay. And then, of course, we now can digitize all in-ground assets and create new economies for miners so that they don't have to go dig up everything. They can keep it in the ground. It's better for the environment and the people, and they can still monetize that. And of course, as you guys all know, because most of you have ELMT, we're creating utility for our ELMT token. Now, with Straya, we have a registry that we're building. It's going to have everybody on there, all the good actors. So if I'm a company and I'm looking to go and buy from a source, I want to know if that mine is in this registry. And so this is the first blockchain certified registry where companies can go in and see who is on this list. And so this is obviously going to be built out. We hope to have thousands and thousands of mines. We hope that a mine, when they're thinking about starting mining, wouldn't even think about starting mining unless they knew they'd qualify for this registry. And of course, this is the big product that's for the masses. For $50, you can buy an heirloom NFT to create a digital version of the things that mean the most to you. But it's not just an NFT. We've provided something truly unique to the market. An NFT that recognizes the past. It proves provenance. Where did this diamond come from? Is it a blood diamond, right? So you can prove where the materials come from, and that obviously will take time to build out. In the present, active ownership. Attach a serial number to it, attach your purchase contract to it, attach warranty information, insurance information. But really, what makes our NFTs better is the future. You can now attach meaning to an NFT. You can attach video and audio of you telling your story about the watch. If you guys haven't seen Amy's heirloom NFT video, you have to go watch it. You can now preserve and digitally preserve forever your story, your ring, how you proposed to your wife, where this watch came from. You can now tell stories as part. And so this is a picture of Amy's NFT, and that little click here to play the YouTube video that is now attached forever to her NFT. And so we can always tell that story. And so, sorry, I read messages as I go, but so if I anyway, and then we're also creating Nextdoor, which is an online registry for all the things you're going to digitize. It can be a ring, it can be your house title, it can be your China collection, it can be your watch. And there's a registry now where you can go and put all of these NFTs so that you can go into one easy place. You see the categories up top: estate attorney, museum collector, insurance agent. So we're building all these on-chain certified registries so that now everybody, because a lot of people go, Scott, I love your cause, but I don't relate to it because it's like B2B. It's like, I'm not a mine. I don't need an NFT. Well, everybody needs to create their digital versions of their heirlooms. But here's going back to the bigger picture. The entire periodic table can now be digitized. We have been contacted by dozens of mines with trillions of dollars in in-ground assets on how we can tokenize what they have in the ground. And we love that because all these tokens we're going to create going to live on the Element blockchain. And that is good for anybody that's part of the blockchain. And so everything can be digitized, and we're working on that. We're working on, you guys know Todd Hoffman from Gold Rush. We've been on calls with him. He wants to do a play up there where we stake claims, digitize all the in-ground assets, and either create a token that's backed by the in-ground asset, or split up the mine into different NFTs and now allow mine ownership to the masses. So lots of great things. Again, we can do that with any sort of thing. You guys know we have ownership in multiple mines from oil, jade, gold. And so we are working on all those things. We have a couple of mines already. So the mine on the right, the Tans Rock mine, Element United. Now you guys, the Element community owns a percentage of this mine in contract. It's done, all lawyered up. And so we own a percentage of this. And if it ever gets bought out or they go into high production, the Element community benefits from the ownership in this mine as well as the other mines. But we're going to do some tokenization on both of these mines. Obviously, you know, one of the best use cases for blockchain are carbon credits. You guys know Offset. Some of you guys that were there with us in Amsterdam saw our presentation. Some of you guys even have the Offset Amsterdam shirts. If you're lucky enough to be there, we are tokenizing carbon credits. And we've already done our first project. We sold out those 43,000 Maple credits, and we're working with big players in the carbon credit space like Trafara to do carbon credits on mining sites, old mining sites where we can get in there and reclaim those sites, create carbon credits, and then sell them back to the mining community. What a beautiful loop that we can create there. And then token utility. What makes, you know, most people on this call who are looking at, hey, look, I have a node, I have a whole bunch of your element tokens. When are they going to be worth something? What can I do with them? And you can do things with them right now. You can go to Osmint and buy gold and silver or gold backs using your Element token. You can buy gold and silver and get a 5% rebate in ELMT tokens. People that need carbon credits are going to have to buy them with the ELMT token. So the use cases for ELMT we've been building, and it's coming in a big way, and we're really excited for it. We want every product that we sell, including those little $50 NFTs, to be purchased with the ELMT token. And if we do that, that's great, right? Because where do you go to get the token? You go into the market, you buy the token, and that helps churn the token and gives it a lot of utility. So we focus on two things. What are the problems we're trying to solve, and what's the utility of that token? And so, but as you can see, the token price is small and the volume is zero. Why? Because we can't do it. This is a community-led effort, and so that's where we're going to be transitioning. As you guys know, so we just finished our bridge to Coinbase and to Binance, which means the ELMT token will be listed first with Base, which is the DEX, the decentralized exchange, and then Coinbase picks up that listing and puts it on the central exchange. So very shortly, you're going to see the Element token on Coinbase and Binance. And everybody, you know, I can't see your faces anymore because I'm showing my screen, but I should just see your feet because you're doing cartwheels in your living room about this announcement, because this is really exciting. We've been talking about it for a while, and we probably jumped the gun by announcing it a little bit too early. Didn't realize how much work it takes to get on these exchanges, but all of this is coming. Now, as you guys know, we have been working. I'm just going to flip through some of these. These are the press releases that we've been working on. We're about to announce all of these. Some of you, we've teased it, we've talked about it, but we have just a slew of press releases that are coming. And so we're really excited. There's kind of a timing issue. We're trying to time everything, our press releases, and then, you know, getting listed on these exchanges, all that kind of fun stuff. We're hoping to release all at the same time so that it has the most effect. But again, everything that we're doing now is community driven. So let me get back in line here to my appropriate slide. And so as a company that is now driven by the community, decisions being made by the community. We need the community to jump in and to start taking over. Sometimes people will ask the question, Scott, when's the token going to be at 10 cents? I have no idea, right? You guys know what it takes to get a token up. There's got to be utility, there's got to be excitement, there's got to be, but I'm not the promoter that gets out there and goes, "Hey, everybody, you got to buy this. It's got to da 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 da," right? We're trying to stay super, super compliant. Now that there's no actual company and I'm a member of the community, I can say a lot more. I can do a lot more, but one voice is not going to do this. We need thousands of voices telling people about the vision, the mission, the purpose of Element United, and encouraging people to get in there and buy the token. Go buy the token out of the market. If we can get people buying the token out of the market, even if you just bought 25 bucks a week every week, and you could easily go in there and buy ELMT, that's going to put a lot of pressure on that token to go up. It'll relieve some of the sell pressure because there's a lot of people out there who've had nodes for a while and they just want to sell, and that's great. I want everybody that bought a node to sell their tokens. That'd be awesome. Or use their tokens or donate their tokens. Do something with your tokens. And if you can sell it and you make a profit on it, holy smokes, that's fantastic. And so there will be some people that want to sell the tokens. Most people are going to hold it. Some will exchange it for gold and use all these other things for the utility. And so it's fantastic. And so we are now pushing for the community to get out there and do this. We want you guys to get out there, tell your friends, hey, this token, ELMT, they've got a great business model. They've been around for a while, but they've been building. Now they're going to have their big coming out party, right? We need Element. We need everybody excited about Element and what the token can do. And more importantly, what are the causes we are supporting? What are the problems we're trying to fix? I think a lot of people will get behind that because, and as you guys know, every presentation I've ever given starts with this big dramatic problem and how we can all fix it by using blockchain technology. There's never been a presentation I've ever given where I said, buy this token, it's going to 100x. You'll never hear that from me. You'll never see it. But when you see the big picture of what we're trying to do and just the basic tokenomics of a token that has real utility and real cause, it's easy to come up with, oh, well, if this happens, then perhaps this can happen. And I'm a big token owner. I hope for the same things everybody else does. And so community driven. And so what we need to do now, many of you guys have heard that there's a match NFT that's coming. Stay tuned. We're not ready to launch this yet, but basically this incentivizes people to get out there in the market and buy Element. And if you do that, there's a match. So whatever element you get out there and buy, it's going to be matched. And right now, Element's at what, 0003? You can probably pick up a lot of Element right now for not too much money. And for especially for some of you guys who've had nodes, if you bought a node 3 years ago for 2 grand and you've got 2 million tokens from it, you're like, dude, I can go buy that much now. But there hasn't been a lot of liquidity. And so the liquidity is coming. It's starting to change, especially with getting on all these exchanges. You have to set up these big liquidity pools. So there's about to be a lot of liquidity in the market that's community driven. We have some big members of the community putting a lot into this. You guys have met, those of you who are consistent in this, you guys have met one of our big community members that's putting 7 figures into this to help to push the token. And a community member can get in there, do it, talk about it. And so there are going to be a couple different options. The match NFT, which you're going to hear about soon. And then we're going to come up with another incentive for you guys to just get out there, spend 25 bucks a week in the market. We'll show you how to do it. And then I will match everything that you get. So if you go out and spend 25 bucks and you get 50,000 ELMT, you're going to get another 50,000 from me. Details are coming on that, but we wanted to let you guys know that that is coming, that there's some exciting things about to happen. And so that's what I've got for the community update. I'm going to stop sharing real quick. Just get back so you guys can just see me and see how much time we have left because I'm always cautious of going over time when you guys are in the middle of a workday. But that's what we've been doing as a company, very busy. And so, and I know there's been this, well, Scott, okay, that's great. But now what happens? Now we get everybody in our community and we go and tell the masses about what we've been doing. And we talk about the utility of the ELMT token and you guys can get out there and but we want to, there should be an incentive for you to go out and do that. What are you going to do? Get out there and, buy this token. Buy this token out of the market. And that's really where we can have some, don't worry, we will provide the entire, if you got the email, you will get another email showing you the best ways to buy out of the market. Unless Ali or Paul, I mean, what do you guys recommend? What would you recommend to the community here on the best ways to buy, or should they just wait for the? Because some of you guys, we did the pinball match NFT a while ago. Ali, do you want to jump in and maybe give some advice on what you think is the best way to buy ELMT out of the market?
Sure, there's always an option to use USDC, USDT, or Ethereum by using the swap tool inside your Element account. So you'll log in, click on your wallet, click on any of those currencies that I just listed, and you'll have the option to swap from that to Element ERC20 tokens. Your other options are to go out in the market and, purchase from wherever you feel comfortable, something like Uniswap or something similar like that. And
Uniswap
all of those
probably.
go direct to the market.
Yeah, that's great. But we'll send out a little tutorial, a little how-to. But just know that our focus, because now that we're a community, we're not a company, there's no more Element United DAO, that's gone. It's been dissolved. We are all a community now, and it's going to take all of us to really take Element to where it needs to go. And so the reason why we have our council is because we have big projects. The things we're trying to do are daunting and they're huge. We have some members of our council that have direct relationships with President Ruto in Kenya, with Mama Samia in Tanzania, like direct can pick up the phone call and get to their people. So we've got people like that on our council who can get us in direct relationship with government leaders. We've got amazing tech people on our council. We've got people in the other mining space. We've got jewelry store owners on our council who can help us and help us to figure out how to best get our little heirloom NFT into all these jewelry stores. And so it's great. It's going to be a very fun, high growth, very fast moving, and it's going to be fun because now I get input from everybody on the council. And even if you're not an official member of the council, any relationship that you have, any sort of like if you know a mine owner, if you have a relationship with a jewelry store, send them over. And if we've dropped the ball in the past, which we have, we apologize. But now that we've got a big council with people who have specific assignments, the ball won't be dropped because it's not just me and Paul and Ali and Amy. We have a big community now to where we can handle growth and fast growth. So that's where Paul, did you want to jump in at all and talk about? Oh, let's see, hold on. Is there Amy? You want to jump in? Is there a form or anything that we need to give to anybody, or we'll just send out an email with how to buy the tokens? Sorry, I've gotten like 40 messages while I've been on here, and I'm trying to just get caught up, make sure that, and as long as Ali, you and Paul, you guys monitoring the questions in the chat, I want to make sure that if there's an issue that even if we don't get it solved right here on the call, I want to make sure that
Yeah,
all
yeah.
questions get answered. Okay. So if there's anything we can drop in the chat, maybe a link or how to set up a wallet, um, maybe toss in a link there on how to get a wallet set up, and then the link to go in and exchange for ELMT. Now, I just teased you in this call. I haven't given you like concrete, go do this. That's by design because we want when I do that, I want to make sure that there are no hiccups, that everybody has a smooth experience, and that everybody knows how to go in and buy. Even with this match NFT that we've been talking about, we're doing a test on it right now. I think most of them are sold out. We just did 20 of those match NFTs. I think they sold out this morning. And that's just to make sure that on our end, we have a process down. There's more information coming on a match NFT. If you're like, hey, Scott, what's this match NFT you're talking about? I haven't heard anything. That's fine. Most people haven't. Some of the people that were in Hawaii heard about it. They're part of our test group to make sure that it goes smooth. But just know that there's going to be a ton of emphasis and a ton of focus on the token. Now, Paul, you teased everybody to get here. We had 130 people on here because you're giving away all my tokens. How
Yeah.
does that work, and how do we give people stuff?
So I'm going to share a file, just a form of just a quick of your name, if you're referred, who referred you, and your email address, and just go in there and answer that, and we're going to send you some ELMT for showing up today.
Can I give them your ELMT? I have to give you my ELMT. So everybody that's on here gets ELMT, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, and I'm going to pick one of you and do a big ELMT. I'll give one of you 100,000. Anybody, if you fill out the form to get your ELMT, and I'll pick one of you, and I'll give you 100,000 ELMT, and I'll send it right to your wallet. So one of you I'll give 100,000 to. But wait, what does everybody get? Is it a small amount? We'll figure that out. But I want someone to get something big. I'll give someone on here 100,000 ELMT, and then, but for
Oh,
everybody on
I
here,
think there's a question. The password is that there's no password and there's no secret phrase.
you just had to
It's
show
the
up.
form.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the password is the form because this is recorded. And we'll get a lot of views on this. You had to be here to get it. And so we get about 10 times or 20 times the amount of views as the people that attend. So you had to be here live, and we get it. Some people couldn't be here live because of schedules, and it's like 2 a.m. where they're at. So we get that. But that's just for this group here. We hope all of you guys, we do this on the first and third Wednesday of every month. We are building something exciting. We hope this is the smallest amount of people that show up from here on out, because the updates that we give from here on out are going to be fantastic. We're hoping we see movement in the market with the tokens. We hope we have announcements on other exchanges. We want to show it when we're live, and you can see ELMT on Binance and on Coinbase. So all of these things we've been working very hard on. Now, I do owe most of you an apology because I did announce a couple months ago, Coinbase, it's coming next week, and I jumped the gun. Now, the person who told me jumped the gun, but the buck stops with me. I'll take full ownership of that I announced it without talking to the dev team. But I assure you, there are a lot of highly paid, nerdy guys with really thick glasses making this work, and they're working on it constantly. No offense to anybody that wears thick glasses. I wear them too. But it's being worked on and it's coming soon. So fill out that form and then look for us 2 weeks from now, 2 Wednesdays from now. These meetings are going to get bigger and a lot more exciting. And so, Amy, Allie, Paul, do either of you have anything else you need to add?
Yes. We are so excited to see everybody here. We hope that you come back next week. Bring some more
Two
people with
weeks,
you.
2 Saturdays. Yeah.
This is the kind of community involvement we really need. It starts here and hopefully it bleeds into everything that Element does.
Thank you, Allie. Yep. Amy, Paul. Oh, by the way, Amy and Paul are just like putting together all of our programs and all the stuff that I showed. Amy, Allie, and Paul, all these products and programs, they built them. Like they're the mothers and fathers of these programs, and they deserve a ton of kudos for what they're doing. And we cannot wait to showcase more as we bring on more customers. And we've got some really big things in the hopper. We've had a lot of big things happening for a long time, but now it's a show and tell time. And so thank you guys so much. Anything else before we end? Well, I want to give you a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the form.
Yeah,
Make
I
sure
posted
you
that a
have
few
the
times in
form.
the chat, so just make sure to look for my
Yep.
post and click on that link.
Hurry and click on the link, and I'm going to give 100,000 of my own ELMT to one of you guys. And again, but we are moving toward. We have to get everybody buying ELMT out of the market. There's reasons for it, obviously, as you guys know. I don't make any price guarantees. I don't say you're going to be rich, but we need everybody buying small amounts, and we're going to make it easy. If we can get small amounts of everybody buying ELMT out of the market every week, wonderful things are on the horizon for us. And so, all right. Okay, that's it for us today. Short and sweet. We went about 5 minutes over. We try to keep these to 30 minutes so that you guys don't feel like you're going to get bored out of your minds. So thank you for staying on for the extra 5 minutes. Make sure you get that link out of the chat, and we're going to call it good. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Scott.